Hey everybody, what's up? I'm super excited to be coming to you tonight. My name is Anthony. Welcome to my channel. This is a VO's journey, and what I do here is I try to help new voiceover artists, try to educate and help out. And if you are already doing voiceover, I try to give tips and stuff as well. So I wanted to talk to you tonight about getting voiceover work when you have no experience, right? Because the challenge is a lot of us, we come into voiceover, we might be coming from radio, we might be coming from the acting world, we might be coming from the business world, we might be coming from anywhere. And, we don't have any experience, but yet we know that there's a lot of business available, okay? Because right now, voiceover is it's exploding just because of the accessibility for us to work at home. But the question still remains, as a new person coming in with no experience, how do you get work? Well, I want to talk to you a couple of different ways about being a voiceover artist, from getting work to differentiating yourself from other voiceover artists, as well as how to actually do voiceover. So it's kind of like three different things I'm looking at. I want to talk to you about tonight. So the first thing is that first you've got to get a DAW. Okay, you've got to get a digital audio workspace. You've got to get your equipment. Okay, if you're just coming into the game with no experience, I know you pretty much at least know that, but you might be wondering, what do I use? What equipment do I get? How much money do I need to spend? There's so much information available out there on the type of microphones you can get and the type of DAWs you can use. There's Audacity, which is a free DAW, and a DAW is what we use to record onto our computers so that we can equalize and format and do all of the editing and things that we need to do for our voiceover. All right, but there's the equipment side of everything. So you need your microphone, and you need a computer, and you're going to need an interface, okay, and some speakers, but really a microphone, an interface, and your computer. All right, and you're going to be okay from equipment wise, but you'll have to treat your space. I'm going to do a lot more on this, but tonight I wanted to talk to you about some other things as well. So I'm not going to go into showing you much tonight, but we're talking to you. So we've got your equipment side, okay? Now we're talking about, or now I want to talk to you about actually finding customers when you're first starting out with no experience. So I personally, I've been acting for 20 years or so. I started off as a teacher right out of college. I got a degree in acting, and I wanted to be an actor my whole life, but I also fell in love, and I wanted to have a family. So I decided that what I was going to do was you know continue to act, but at the same time teach and have a steady job so I could have a family and I could have a home instead of running around everywhere. And at that time, voiceover wasn't really accessible like it is now. So, through all these years, I've done, teaching and acting on the side and so forth. And, I have come to up to about 2 years ago. And at that time, I was a little frustrated because I wanted to find something I could do to continue to act, but not have to travel around, move my whole family, and do things of that nature to where I couldn't actually get, or couldn't actually have a home, or I'd be there for my kids and everything. So I don't I started looking online, and I don't know why it never popped into my head, because I've had friends in the past who have done voiceover. But so basically, what happened was is I saw some videos, and I saw videos on voiceover, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. These people are doing voiceover from home, and I had no experience, had no idea how to do voiceover, no idea how to use a DAW or a computer to record onto, what microphone, what equipment, no idea whatsoever. But what I saw was the ability for me to be at my home and to perform and to be able to satisfy that niche and also make some money possibly. Okay. I always love to do characters and to act and to be dramatic, So it was kind of like a win-win. All right. But again, I had no experience. I didn't know what to do. So what I started to look into was as many YouTube videos as possible. I started watching videos on the tech stuff. I started watching videos on how to deliver. I started watching videos from all sorts of different people on YouTube on how to get started in the voiceover business. And it led me to some sites. And I want to give you some starter websites that I think you can go to. There's kind of two different ways. Well, there's a bunch of different ways to get business, but I think there is, the ways to get business where you go through platforms where other businesses, online businesses, have set up work for you, or they found customers that you can go to, or you can go out and find the customers yourself. All right. There is also agents. You can find agents. I think agents are playing less and less a role in people like me, who is, starting to, we are starting to make up the majority of voiceover artists. And so agents are playing less of a role there, but agents are still a part of this equation. But, I like to look at online sites that find customers, or find people, find your audience. You go onto those sites, audition, put yourself out there, and then those people find you, and you guys, if they like you, they'll, you guys connect and you work that way. Or you go out and find your own business by emails, calling, auditioning, doing those sorts of things. But when I first started out, and I recommend this to anyone just starting out with no experience, the audiobook industry right now is massive. If you didn't know, it's huge. And I think for me, when I first started, I didn't have a lot of money to spend. I didn't know where to put money at. I got I got a $40 snowball mic from Best Buy, and it was a USB mic. And basically, I had built this PVC pipe enclosure, okay, and it had blankets and everything. And I had made a pop filter out of a coat hanger and pantyhose that my wife let me use. That was my pop filter. And a pop filter is what we use to stop plosives when we're talking P's and T's. They get on there and they can cause a loud popping noise. But anyway, so I started auditioning on ACX. So that's my first experience as a new person coming in. All right. It's a great place to go. So acx.com, A as in apple, C as in cat. All right. And X as in xylophone. That's a hard one, right? acx.com. And it is owned by Amazon. And it is the site where Amazon created for authors, producers, narrators to come together and meet and audition and put out books that they have written for those two to come together. And then you create it and you upload it through ACX. And that's how Amazon helps you self-publish your audiobooks onto Amazon, Audible, iTunes, etc. Okay. So acx.com. But the wonderful thing about ACX is that it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. There's a lot of sites out there that you have to pay for. All right. But ACX is free. All right. There's tons of books available at all at beginner level, at intermediate, and at advanced. Okay. There's all sites available for you to, or there's all types of books and deals available for you to audition for. So ACX is a great place as a new voiceover artist with no experience to go and start auditioning. The key for people who are just beginning is to start auditioning. Just get yourself out there. So like I said about that story, what I was telling you is when I first started off, I bought the $40 mic. I'll never forget, because my wife said, if you don't succeed at this, you're taking that darn mic back. All right. It was $40 at Best Buy. All right. And I was like, okay, I've got 30 days to do something to make enough money, all right, because I bought it was a USB mic, so I didn't have to buy an interface at that time. So it just plugs right into my computer. And I'd fortunately already had a subscription to Adobe Audition, all right, Audition, which is a paid DAW, all right. And so like I was like, I got to do this. So what I did was is I started right away auditioning on ACX. And basically there are authors who put their books on ACX, put up a script, you look at it, say, "Oh, I'd like to audition for this." You do the script or do the audition, submit it, and then the author listens to it and they contact you and decide whether or not they want to work with you and then send you an offer. Okay. And the offers can range from being paid outright to being paid with royalties. And the royalties on ACX go up to 7 years. And there's benefits for both and there's downsides for both. The prices they start from, they go from 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400, and 400 to 1,000. Most of the books fall in between royalty share and 0 to 100. Okay. But here's the thing. I started out by doing royalty books and 0 to 50. And I think there's a lot of people out there who say, that's devaluing yourself, or that's not a lot of money. But this is what I'm going to say. Any business I think that you go into, there is a price of entry. Okay, there is the grunt work. There's the amount of time you've got to put in to make it. Okay, so as I looked at this, I thought to myself, I've got to just get work. I got to see what I can do. All right, so I did that, and lo and behold, I started getting jobs very soon after I started, within a couple of days. And on a side note, it's funny because I go back and I listen now to that stuff, and um, it's kind of it's kind of embarrassing, but the quality of the audio and everything, because I didn't really know what I was doing then, compared to what I do now and compared to my equipment and everything I have. But back then, when I first started out, I had no experience and I didn't know anything. But what I did know, at least what I did, and then I'm trying to get across to you guys in this, is that no matter what you have or you don't have, just go for it. Start auditioning, and ACX is a great place to start, because not just it's free. You don't need a website. You don't need to have a demo. You don't need to have, it's nice if you have a profile picture, but you don't need to have some, beautiful headshot. Okay. You don't need to have all of that stuff to start being successful on ACX. And it's one of the only sites I know that you can actually go to and do that, because the site is based around you auditioning, not about what you do. Now, sites like Voices123 or Voices.com, those are pay to play sites where you pay a fee, and then they let you or they match you with people who are looking for work. But the thing with that is you still have to have your demos uploaded, and those demos play a very important role, even though you're auditioning. But in ACX, your demos don't really play any role. Because the majority of what you're doing is you're auditioning. So I started getting work right away, and I started making a little bit of money, a couple $100 a month. And then what happened to me is I had gotten a deal by a publisher who had a series of books, and they wanted me to do the series. And it turned out to be just book after book after book. It was very fortunate, and that has really done well for me royalty wise. There's a lot of people who have angst about royalty share, and I'll probably do a video. I'll do a video on how to choose royalty share. Learn some great information from a man named Earl Hall. Very, very awesome guy, mentor of mine. And he put out a video many years ago that I saw, and I kind of took that video and ran with it and did my own thing and created my own process on ACX. And ACX has been through a lot, but I've recently really started going back to them, because I really believe that they are they're trying to get back to what they were at. So but anyways, so the point I'm trying to make to you guys is that as a new voiceover artist with no experience, maybe you have a USB microphone, Maybe you're using Audacity. Okay, Audacity, that's wonderful. It's a wonderful program. It's free. Okay, it's somewhat limited, but many people who make a lot of money in voiceover use Audacity. It's free. You can download it for free online. All right, with just a mic and that and a space that's treated enough, okay, that you're not going to get a lot of echo or noise, you can start making money and getting your resume built up. Because there's the reality. You've got to have some sort of place to start. You're not going to start at the top of the mountain. You're going to start at the bottom. All right. And you got to work your way up one step at a time. So I know I'm pushing ACX. I'm not, I don't do affiliate for them. I don't get anything for pushing ACX or anything like that. I just really think that it's a great place for a lot of people. I do coaching now, which I love, and a lot of the people I coach on is getting started on ACX, and I really think it's a great place to start if you are willing to just go for it. Because here's the thing: no one is going to like. I have all this times I've all the auditions and all the books I've done on ACX. I've never gotten a message back ever that said you suck or there's no way in hell I would hire you. I've never gotten anything like that. So, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is that I want you to really consider, all right, going for it because no one is going, you don't have to share it with anybody else. The only person who hears it is the author. Okay. So the worst case scenario is you just don't get business, but you get yourself out there and you start auditioning. And then you have files. And then you have the ability to start promoting yourself on platforms, other platforms. Then you have files to make demos. Okay. I have a great video in my channel about how to make a demo from scratch, a DIY demo. You should check that out. But it's kind of one of those things where it's just a great place for a person who has no experience to start. All right. So as I progressed on ACX, I made more money. I started getting on other platforms and I started being able to buy better equipment. I started to get more knowledgeable. I started to watch more videos. I started to make more money and get better equipment and make more money and get better equipment. My wife saw that I was being successful, so she wasn't as mildly. I did take back the Blue Snowball mic. If you have a Blue Snowball mic, that's great. I'm not saying don't use it, but you're going to want to get up, a little higher than a Blue Snowball mic. It's a 40 ball. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a $40 mic, and it's a USB mic. A lot of gamers or beginning gamers now, but now with our industry the way it is, a good microphone is a couple hundred, $150 to $250 that you can get. Okay, but anyways, I've moved up and bought. Now I have a whisper room, an editing space, different equipment. But I didn't start there. I started with just one USB microphone and some software, and I got work. I made money, and you can too. And I had no experience. Okay, the things that I needed to know was how do I record, how can I edit it, how can I master it. All right, mastering is that extra special sauce you put on the end. And then how can I format it for ACX? And there's lots of videos out there, but I think I'll do a video on that as well. How to format your files for ACX, okay? Because there's a specific way. But once you figure out that way, you just set it and forget it. And then it's very simple. It starts to go very quickly. And the more you pump out auditions, the more work you get. It becomes a numbers game. Because, and I want to say this to everybody who's watching, this is important. It's really, you need to understand that you're not going to be for everybody, right? I'm not going to be for everybody. My voice is not going to match what everyone's looking for. It'll match what a couple of people want, but it won't match what everybody's looking for. And it doesn't mean I suck, and it doesn't mean you suck. Okay, when we start out, especially people who are just beginning, I think they get this feeling that they can't, that if they don't get work, if everybody's not giving them work, something's wrong with them. They suck. You don't suck. Okay. The reality is that we are in an entertainment. You are a performer. You are an actor. As a voiceover artist, you are an actor. You are being paid to perform. As a performer, the people who are paying you, they have something they want in their mind. Okay. So something that you need to know as a beginning voiceover artist is that you are not going to get hired for every job. 80%, 90% of the work you audition for, you won't get hired for. And it's not because you suck. It's not because maybe your audio sucks. It could be. I'm not saying it's not. It could be. And it's a good thing to always audit yourself. But 9 times out of 10, it's because you just didn't fit what the author or the director or the producer, whoever's hiring, was looking for. Okay. So the key then becomes not to be emotional about the work that you're not getting, all right, or that you're just beginning out as a voiceover artist, but about how much you can do, okay, and how much you can audition. That's the key. I don't know if you guys, this happens to you, but this happens to me all the time. I get sidetracked. Like in this conversation, I've tried to stay on point as we've gone through, but it's easy to get sidetracked. Okay, it's easy to get out there as voiceover artist and see, ooh, that looks cool, or ooh, that site looks cool, or this looks cool. This happens to me all the time. I jump in like I'm going down a rabbit hole. Okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole, and um, I I get confused, and then I start to work on my website, or I start to try to do a new advertising thing, or I start to get on a new website. I forget often that the key to getting work is finding clients, is auditioning. And if you do that steadily every day, you're going to get work, whether you have lots of experience or not. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. I'm sure it does, but I know it happens to me, and I have to constantly pull myself back in. Like tonight, I wanted to make this video. I wanted to come on and talk to you all, but at the same time, I knew I had to get my auditions done. I had to get my stuff, done before I came on and did this. All right. It's 12:30 a.m. There's like 4 people watching. You all are awesome. 5 people. I know people have been coming and going. I don't know. I can't see who you are watching, but y'all are freaking awesome at 12:30 a.m. Like we're like late night warriors doing voiceover this late. I've been doing voiceover and auditions and stuff, and so I wanted to come on and do this. But you know, you don't have to have an amazing amount of experience to be successful. What you do have to have is the willingness to go for it, even if you suck. When we all start out, we suck. Okay, that's my main thing. I want you to know is you got to go for it. Okay, you got to go for it. All right, so we talked about your DAW. We talked about auditioning and ACX, and yeah, I think that's the main thing I wanted to get across tonight for new voiceover artists who have no experience. The key is to get started. Stay tuned to this channel. Please subscribe. Become a subscriber. I'm going to be doing lots more videos. I finally gotten to a point after a couple years of setting up my home studio to have a whisper room and to have all the equipment I need. I don't need any more equipment right now. I'm at a place where I'm happy, and I want to help other people learn all the stuff that I've learned over the last couple of years of time I've spent trying to learn this stuff, screwing up, not getting work, being frustrated, realizing those things that I talked about. It wasn't me. It was just that I wasn't getting work. And then there were times where it was me, where my audio wasn't correct, where I was using my computer to listen to the speakers from my computer to actually listen to edit, all right, and to master. And then I realized that what was coming out of my computer wasn't what was actually sounding like, because your computer, and depending on what you have and the speakers, your phone, they put their own filters and they do to make it sound differently. So I finally had to get studio speakers. And when I started using studio speakers, it opened up my mind. Oh my gosh, this is how it actually sounds. Okay. Like just little things like that. All right. That you don't think about when you're first starting out because you don't have any experience. Okay. But anyways, wow, it's almost been 25 minutes. I've just rambled on. I hope that this has helped you with the realization that all of the other junk out there, it's not junk, but all the other hoopla about you got to do this first. You got to have a professional demo before you start. You got to have a great website before you start. You got to have all this stuff. I mean, it's all thrown out there at us like we can't do anything until we have that stuff. But the reality is that it's what's funny, and hopefully you've noticed this in your life, but I tell you, because I've noticed this over and over again. People will line up to work with you and to support you only when you prove to the world that you can do it without them. Okay. And it's not until then that people come and they want to help you. Before then, nobody wants to help you at all. You got to figure it out on your own. But when you do, everybody then wants to help you. So what I'm saying is, don't wait for anyone else. Just go for it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Some of you might have stayed this whole entire time. That is so awesome. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. And we'll be back tomorrow night for another video. Remember to do something on the studio setup here so you can check it out. I'll do, I did a little video yesterday about showing my studio, but I didn't go into exactly all the little things I have and the equipment and stuff. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Okay. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.